Hey guys, so today I'm gonna do something different. I'm taking a break from the Letting Go series just for a little bit for a few days. And I wanted to do something called Filling Others' Cup, right? Because how often are we here trying to take care of other people's needs and other people's emptiness and that void that they feel, right? Neglecting our own because we're so willingly open to give and pour into other people. So I'm going to do a little activity today as a reference point, and you've probably seen it on social media under different types of shapes and forms. I've seen it as them doing it with the balls inside like a vase with sands and rocks and all this other type of stuff. I'm doing my own version today. Um, and I hope you enjoy it, and hopefully we can take something from it or learn from it. All right. Do you guys remember when was the last time you looked as full as this cup of water? When was the last time your heart felt this full, or your mind or your soul felt this full? I can't remember when was the last time I felt like that in a long time, but it's something I'm working on, right? Little by little. This is us. In life, we start out like this. And then we come across another individual who could be looking like this. Or maybe they could have a little bit more in them, but we're going to reference this for now. And you want to help them, right? Whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically, verbally, financially. You just want to help them because you don't want to see them empty. And you're just that generous that you take and you pour a little bit into them, right? And now what happens to you? You're looking a little bit empty there, aren't you? And every time you take and you pour a little bit out, right? Not only are you pouring out of yourself, but you're also creating a hole within yourself that you just quite can't see or realize that it's there. Because you're so content in knowing that you're giving a little bit of yourself to somebody else and helping them out with their situation, right? So this person, they take what you give and then they leave. And then you're left like this, right? And you stay like this for a little bit. But then the next person comes into your life and you're like, you know what? It's gonna be different this time. This time, I'm gonna pour into this person, help them out, but maybe they're gonna recognize and see what I did. Maybe they're not gonna leave like that one. Maybe they'll stick around a little bit longer, or maybe they'll be appreciative and see what I did. So, okay, granted, you go and you pour a little bit more of yourself into that cup, right? Into that person. Looking a little bit half empty, right? But what's the saying? Half glass full or half glass empty. You're not sure which way you're feeling. All I see here and all I notice here is that you're not as full as you used to be. But now you go ahead and you give to this other person, this other individual, and you're coming over here and you're ruining yourself because now you go ahead and you pour a little bit of yourself out there again, and here's your other scar, right? This person doesn't stick around either. That person decides they're gonna move on to their next life, next person, next whatever it could be. Because it doesn't always have to be in a relationship, as in like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be co-workers, colleagues, it could be parental, it could be sibling, it could be anything, right? It could be any type of relationship that you just taking from yourself and pouring on to other people, trying to complete them, trying to fix them, trying to help them. But at the end of the day, people don't stay the way you wish that they would. at least not the right people. And God knows why he allows things to happen that we cannot see or understand as much as it might hurt. So now you have filling up 2 other people, but yet now you're running low. Now you have scars, right? Building, because it's not only that you're giving from yourself, you're also getting new traumas, you're getting new scars, you're getting new hurt memories of, damn, like I helped them, why aren't they there? They're just leaving. Or why aren't they seeing what I'm doing for them? Why aren't they sticking around? But you're just so generous, so kind, and so thoughtful, right? That now somebody else comes into your life. And it's like a vicious trend, a vicious cycle. And you just keep giving because that's who you are. That's who you want to be. You're hoping that somebody will see what you're giving, right? And what you're putting out there. And now you have given yourself to these, but now you're creating another scar within yourself, right? Now you're just breaking more and more, little by little, because you're over here so worried about wanting to help everybody. It's like we become our own martyr in our own world, not even realizing that we do. And here's everybody just shifting away, right? Okay, granted, you have a little bit left. That's that ounce of hope that you hold on to, that you think that, I'm already spilling it. That ounce of hope that you're holding on to, thinking that, hey, things are going to change, people are going to change, the right one's going to come along. You know, this is lack of self-love. This is what it looks like. You're so busy trying to love everybody else and trying to do good for everybody else that you just start damaging yourself and ruining yourself and you don't see it. So fine. Again, another individual comes into your life looking empty. And here you go. And you want to pour into that person. And now you're just kind of left feeling empty, entirely broken. And guess what? That one hurt the most, right? Saw how that one lit up on fire? That one actually has a whole scar going. I don't know if you can see it. It's crazy how that happened with that one. Now you're just fully empty and you're left with all these holes because you're so busy trying to fill everybody else up. And it's like, it doesn't matter now what happens, right? Because you come and you gave yourself to all of these people, into all of these situations, into all of these things in life, that you come and you want to try and fill your cup, right? You want to fill yourself up. You try to find things to make you happy. Try to find things to make you rejoice. And what happens? You just damaged goods. And it doesn't matter what you do. Those holes are still there. Those scars are still there. You can never fill up and be who you were before. You can't erase the traumas. You can't erase the marks. You can't erase the trials, the problems. You will never be who you were before you started giving yourself away to people. You'll never feel full exactly the same way as you was once you had that innocence, once you cared about the world, before you knew what it was out there. But then you decide you want to start healing and you want to find your road to recovery, right? So you start doing self-work. Maybe start reading more motivational books. Maybe start meditating. Maybe start listening to music. And you come and you want to patch your hole, right? You want to patch it because you want to grow and you want to do better and you realize it's time to self-heal. So you're working on you. And you continue finding things that help you grow and become the version of you that you want to be. you got to start letting go of certain people. You got to start letting go of certain situations. You have to stop surrounding yourself by certain things that just don't make you feel full or that aren't adding to your cup. Right? Make look for God and look for people to help you out, like positive people, motivational people, people that have gone through what you're going through. Just different ways in healing. Everybody has their own way of healing. And you just keep putting in that work. And every time you put in more work into yourself, you start patching all those holes inside of you and all that damage. Right? This is what self-healing and self-work looks like. And trust me when I tell you, I have a long way to go. But this is me little by little. I'm probably like somewhere here. Maybe in between the first hole and the second hole. But I'm trying. As I hope that you will try as well. And so we've patched up our cup. We've patched up all that we've done. All that we've let go. And all that we became. And this is what we're looking like now. Now we're going to try and fill ourselves up. Alright? So you patched the work. We try to do the self-healing. And fill it to the top. And although you patched it, right? I don't know if you can see. Patched it, but you're still leaking. That's normal. You're not leaking as crazy. You're not pouring into anybody else. This is your cup. Right? But your cup will never be the same. You will never be the same. Once you take from yourself and you decide you want to start adding into people's cups and people's world, you'll never become the same you that you was before you started to. And the whole purpose of this, right, and of me doing this is because I have found myself on numerous occasions throughout my whole life since my childhood trying to make everybody happy, whether it was family, friends, kids at school growing up, my colleagues, my co-workers, boyfriends, husbands. Like, I have tried to fill everybody up, and in the meantime I was emptying myself, and I couldn't see it and I didn't realize it. And the worst part is that as I was emptying myself, no one was adding on to my cup. No one was helping me. No one was worried about how I was feeling. And I just kept and kept, as you can see. Look, doesn't matter how much healing you do, those scars, those holes are always there. And sometimes you leak, but when you leak, you gotta replenish. Point is, sometimes we want to help people, like I said, and it could be emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, sexually, any which way. We want to help them. We want to make them feel full. And the sad part is, people will always take. It's human nature, right? You're a giver and people will take. They are the receivers. And at some point or another, you have to open your eyes and realize, I gotta stop giving. Or I gotta stop giving as much. Or I need to evaluate and realize who I'm giving to. Because as you're giving and getting nothing in return, you lose yourself as a whole. And you lose your beauty. You lose what makes you you. And unfortunately, it becomes a vicious cycle. And if we don't know what self-love is, if we don't know what self-worth is, and we're so desperately looking for love and seeking for somebody to be there, to understand us, to want us, to need us, to love us, to help us, we think that by giving as well, they'll see, hey, like, this is what this person means, or this is what they're worth, or they'd appreciate us, right? And we think that we'd get in return. But we really don't. A lot of times we don't. If we don't choose wisely, if we don't self-analyze before jumping into conclusions thinking that you can give on to this person and give on to that person. At some point or another, you have to learn to be a little bit selfish. And you need to learn how to only accept those around you that are going to help fill your cup up. It's okay if there's an emergency and you want to help somebody else. But you should never go to the point that you're helping out so much that you lose essence of who you are. You should never help out to the point where you lose entirely and become entirely empty. You want to start surrounding yourself by people who are going to come and give you a little bit of themselves, right? And that are going to come and add on to your cup. And who's going to see you for who you are and appreciate you and value you. Who's going to love you. Who's going to be like, you know what? This person is an amazing person. And that's what you should live by. That's what you should go by. Nobody deserves to drain themselves empty for anybody. Life is short. People move on. You got to learn to take care of you. And that's one hard lesson I've had to learn. And it's been very hurtful. But it's true. Nobody can take care of you like you can take care of you. And I hope that that's something that will resonate with you and that will help you to become a better person, a better individual for yourself. And if you want to help, that's a very godly thing to do, and it's a very humble thing to do. Do it by all means. But don't do it at the expense of losing yourself entirely.